I love my husband. He's a strong, supportive alpha male. He wears Weejuns and he loves his mother. He plays a mean game of golf and he's never had anything stronger than a scotch. He can't even talk in the morning until he's read the Wall Street Journal. He came with no kids, no ex wives, a house, a job, no felonies, and a mother who lived upstairs. But when I surprised him in the Prisoner of Love bodysuit I bought on 7th Avenue, he said, "Oh, that looks complicated, honey." When I showed him all the positions I'd already done in the Kama Sutra, he whispered, "Oh, Petal, that must be exhausting." He doesn't like honey rubbed on his privates, and he doesn't like sex on the beach. The music that turns my hubby on is a PGA tournament or America's Most Wanted. It's not exactly Marvin Gaye, but I don't know what I would do without him. Like everyone else, we've been riding quarantine forever, zooming here, there, and everywhere. I've been wearing a mask, social distancing. I've even been meditating with Deepak Chopra. His illusion of hope is so tough to hold on to when the future is bleak. The variants are here, and all our politicians are still fighting over ending lockdown and wearing a mask. The other night, in between Tiger King episodes, we decided to indulge ourselves. As hubby said, "Honey, if not now, when?" I ran out to the kitchen and I grabbed the Tate's chocolate chip cookies and a bottle of champagne. I put the bottle between my knees, and as I pushed the cork out of the bottle with my thumbs, I glanced out the window. Amid the dancing branches of the weeping willow tree between our building and the next, I glimpsed a Chris Pine-looking man in his bedroom window, not 30 feet away from me. In the background was a bed with messy white sheets. My neighbor was tall, tan, and wet, slowly drying off. I could almost smell the dial soap. Water dripped from his surfer's hair onto his Tom Brady shoulders. Unfortunately, the windowsill was level with the towel wrapped around his hips. Well, I pursed my pouty lips and I topped up those flutes and I sashayed back into the bedroom like a Vegas slut. Thoughts of dirty sex were oozing out of every pore. Hubby took one look at me and said, "Honey, you're scaring me." I grabbed a handful of Tates. We lifted our glasses in healthy gratitude as Joe Exotic French kissed the tiger riding in the passenger seat of his red pickup. Hubby snuggled in and kissed my neck. I got hopeful. Just as the magic engine between my legs started purring, he started snoring. I covered him with a blanket and sweetly he whispered, "I love my baby," and nodded off. I couldn't stop thinking about the neighbor. The next morning, cleaning the kitchen, cleaning makes me relax. I stole a peek out the window and I got lucky. The neighbor was sitting at his kitchen table, facing away from me, naked. I lost my breath. Angel wings. A magnificent tattoo of angel's wings covered the muscles on his bare back. I haven't seen anything like that since I visited the Sistine Chapel. Well, finally, I just decided it was time to take a shower and cool off. I mean, how many days can I wear sweatpants? Maybe a little Chrissy Teigen style might spike up my love life. God knows I need more exercise than prowling the aisles of CVS and Trader Joe's. So I penciled in Sharon Stone eyebrows and Scarlett Johansson's lips. And I grabbed the French maid's outfit with the matching satin slippers with the pom-poms. I mean, I need to look good if I'm going to spend more time cleaning my kitchen. I think quarantine that night inspired me to make a surprise dinner for my hubby. His mother's famous lamb shanks. He always gets excited when I cook his mother's shanks. I cranked the stove up to 500 and wrestled the shanks into the pan and started Mummy's never-ending searing. In the background is the low drone of America's Most Wanted special on women who kill. I laid the lamb on a bed of fennel, onions, carrots, garlic, and shallots before slipping them into the scorching hot oven. To keep the French maid's outfit flawlessly French, I stripped down to my matching pink lapurlas and threw open the windows. There was the hunk, standing in the light of the supermoon. I tell you, my boobs jumped right out of my push-up. He lifted his glass, I raised mine, and I watched his firm thighs mosey into the shadows like one of Joe Exotic's just-fed jungle cats. The moonlight followed him to the next window of his living room. A trio of white candles burned on the coffee table next to Jesus, a plaster statue of Jesus. I've always been seduced by a man who believes in something. Then, all of a sudden, our apartment fuse box exploded, all the lights popped off, the fire alarm started blaring, and everything started smoking. In my neighborly excitement, I had forgotten that I left my wet Manolos on the top shelf of the oven to dry off after last week's rainstorm. Well, I had read that Diana Vreeland heated up her oven and put her wet shoes in there to dry. I mean, space is a premium in a small flat. I turned around just as hubby opened the oven door, threw his champagne on the fire, and beat back the flames. My French maid's outfit wilted in his hand as we stood in shock. He flashed a, you're up to no good smile. We fell on the floor like horny kids. I rolled him onto his back like I'd been dying to do them since the minute I saw the window hunk. Hubby's large hands gripped around my waist to keep me from flying away on my raging libido. And never once did I think about the handsome window hunk. Oh God, we slept like young lovers that night. And the next morning I jetted into the kitchen, threw open the windows and breathed in the beautiful day. Between the weeping willow branches, I could see my neighbor's naked back. He pulled on a t-shirt over his angel wings, picked up a duffel bag, and stepped away. My heart sank. A few seconds later, he came back to the window. He smiled, waved goodbye. I shouted, "Thank you!" But I don't know if he could hear me over the PGA blaring from the bedroom. Thank you.